Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you don't already know me, my name is Bree and I moved to Mexico about a year ago from the US, from California, and I thought it would be fun to do a little video about what it is I bring back with me when we go back to California to visit my parents and my family. What do we bring? What do we stock up on? What can we not find here, or can we not find here at a reasonable price? So we're going to start with some of the things we bring that are just simply useful, things that really make our lives easier because it's something we relied on in the past. One of the first things I stock up on are medicines, and specifically NyQuil, DayQuil. So yes, people get sick here in Mexico, people get the cold here in Mexico, but I love DayQuil. I think it works really well when I get sick and when I have kids that are sick. And no one tells you how hard it is to take care of kids who are sick when you're also sick. And so for me, DayQuil is just a miracle that helps me get through those times. And I haven't found anything like that here in Mexico. So I always like to stock up on it. And this time, I don't know what is happening in the NyQuil DayQuil factory, but these pills are really shiny and sparkly and kind of fun. The next thing I like to get is kind of weird, but we always get these kitchen sponges specifically. I hate doing dishes with those old funky sponges that have a weird color and a weird feeling and a weird smell. These are the best sponges I have ever found. Things don't stick to them. It even says even eggs and cheese won't stick. I don't really cook with cheese, but I have before cooked with cheese and it doesn't stick. It doesn't get all nasty in the sponge. So we always buy a bunch of these. I can't find them here and they're not the cheapest, but they last way longer than the average sponge and they never smell. So weird, but stock up on these. The next thing I like to get when I go to the US are vitamins. So there are vitamins here, of course, but I think in the US we have the privilege of having a lot of vitamin companies. So this time I brought back these new chapter women's vitamins, and I usually also like to stock up on B12 for my kids. We are raising vegetarian kids and they don't particularly love eggs. So to get that B12 vitamin is a little hard for vegan vegetarian kids. So we like to give our girls those drops and they have no taste. My girls have no problems with them. So I always stock up on those when we go back. The next thing that I like to get are Band-Aids. And there are Band-Aids all over the world, but Welly are our favorite brand. They're inexpensive, they have fun prints, they have travel packs. So we always just grab a big box of Welly Band-Aids to fill all our smaller Welly containers all over our house. I have them thrown in my purse. They're fabric, so they don't get all slimy and fall off when they get wet. They have fun prints and the kids just like them. And honestly, when your kid has a scratch or something, the last thing you want to worry about is having a Band-Aid that doesn't work. These are great. We love them. We're sticking to them. The next thing we always get are kid dental picks. So these don't have fluoride or any sort of flavor additive. The ones I found here in Mexico all have, I don't know if it's fluoride or toothpaste, but they have a flavor. I just prefer natural, and these are specifically for kids, so they're smaller, and it's a game changer for my kids for flossing their teeth. So again, it's working for us, so we're not going to change it. We're going to stock up every time we go. The next thing I like to get, and I've actually even asked people to bring it with them when they come to visit us, is this specific sunscreen from Trader Joe's. My friend, who's like always in the know on things, seems to think that this is a repackaged brand of sunscreen that's sold at a higher rate with a brand name. I don't remember what it is. But I love it because it's clear and it's silky. So you put it on and you don't have like a white layer for a while. So my kids don't mind it. It's fast. You don't feel gross. You don't smell gross. It's my favorite. It's SPF 40. So I usually grab at least 2 of these. Right now, I think I paid $8 each, but it'll last a long time. And I even send it to school with the girls. So each of their teachers have one to put on the girls because we do live in Mexico. So there's a lot more sun exposure here than we were used to in California. So this is a must for me. The next thing that's kind of fun is snacks. So I always hit up Thrive Market. They have an online grocery store of all kinds of alternative diet-friendly foods. So they have vegan foods, paleo foods, keto foods, gluten-free foods. A lot of it's, of course, packaged, but they have really, really great fun snacks for kids. And we're going to be going to Italy next month. So I'm typically not a processed snack fan, but because we have these long flights coming, I wanted to stock up on portable food that my kids like, so that we're not in the airport wondering how I'm going to feed my kids. Because my kids are also slightly picky and they're vegetarian. So just grabbing food anywhere is not always easy, especially when you're traveling. So I stocked up. There's almonds, there's bars, there's these great seaweed packages that are flat. So I can just throw them in the kids' backpack and they weigh nothing. Cereal bars, basically things that will just tide my kids over in between meals or help them if they're feeling particularly hungry or if they didn't like something that was offered at mealtime. There's something that I know they can at least fill their stomachs with that's relatively healthy. The next sort of weird thing I brought is a stack of tissue paper. So here in Mexico, it's been interesting. So I did find tissue paper in one sort of miscellaneous store, but they sold it by the sheet, which fine, but it was kind of awkward carrying back like sheets of tissue paper. Plus it's more expensive that way. And then when we went to Walmart, next to the gift bags, they had crepe paper, like almost like the kind that we would wrap around pillars and things at birthday parties, but like a tablecloth length, which was fine. We went to a birthday party recently and we bought that. But it kind of smelled weird and it felt weird. And I thought, okay, I'm just gonna buy a pack. This was like $7 on Amazon. Has every color. I just figured I'd bring it back because my kids go to school and they're always getting invited to birthday parties. And we always keep running into this tissue problem. So now we're good in the tissue department. Okay, so something kind of fun I like to do before we're heading back to California is I like to look at Poshmark. So I love trying to buy higher quality clothes, especially kids' clothes, because they grow so fast. And I think kids' clothes are so cheap and you wonder who's making them and what the work conditions are. And so I try to be conscious about what clothes I'm putting my girls in. So I found some sort of higher end brands just by doing some research on Google. And then I looked for those brands on Poshmark. So when we got to my dad's this last time, there were a bunch of packages of clothes waiting for the girls, and people take really good care of their stuff. It's basically like new, and it somehow feels like I'm contributing to a more efficient children's clothes situation, because I think the clothing industry can be pretty wasteful. And it's cheaper, and it just kind of feels like a win all the way around. And then also, sometimes I like to keep an eye on some of the things for myself. So I am like a huge Doc Martens fan. I have a couple of pair of boots. I think they're awesome. They last forever. They're comfortable. They're cute. They make me feel really me when I wear them. So I have been keeping an eye on these Mary Jane Doc Martens for a really long time, but they never go on sale because they're the classics, some of the classics. And I found them on Poshmark for half price. So I was super stoked. So that's sort of something fun that my husband and I like to do. He likes to look at like some of his brands are Diesel and different things. So we kind of keep an eye on things that are on Poshmark a little before we're gonna go, and then we'll just ship them to my dad's when we get there. They're waiting, and then we can bring them back with us. So the next thing is very me specific, and it's kind of, I would say, fun, not useful. Well, that's not true. I would say fun and useful. So actually my dad was born in Sicily, and he is still very Sicilian by culture, even though he's been living in the States for decades by now. But the other day I was at his house and I had a stomach ache, and so I went to lay down, and pretty soon later I hear him coming in with a little glass clinking with ice. And he had brought me a little digestivo. And if you don't know what a digestivo is, it's probably because you don't have a European dad. But if you do have a European dad, you know exactly what it is. It's basically a sometimes bitter alcohol that is served a lot of times after a meal in Italy. That's supposed to help you digest better or settle a stomach that's a little upset. And after my dad gave me this Digestivo, I was amazed at how I felt. Like even 15 minutes later, totally settled my stomach. And so he went and bought me this bottle to take back with me. This is Amaro, which means bitter. So there you go. Amaro Averna Siciliano. So this is a Sicilian brand. So it's kind of like bringing a little bit of culture back with me and a little bit of my dad back with me. But also it's great. And my stomach is kind of unhappy since I got back from the States because of course you're eating more of your old favorites, processed foods, and my stomach is not used to that anymore. So I'm actually gonna open this probably today and have some. So yeah, kind of fun. The next thing I usually bring back with me, because I am a mega book nerd, is a English book. So I typically read on my Kindle anyways, but I do like physical books. And because I'm here in Mexico where English books are not as easily accessible as before, I kind of feel this like need for books, and I love bookstores and things. So usually I have a book or two that I either have in mind and I go grab and bring back with me, or sometimes I just like to go to like Barnes & Noble or a bookstore and grab one and bring it back with me. But this time I was a little bit extra and I brought back A Course in Miracles. So if you haven't heard of this book, it's basically like kind of like a spirituality Bible. It's not a Bible. It's not about any religion, but it's just basically about love and miracles as a religion. So basically it's just a book on how to expect and look for love in life and look for miracles in life, kind of like a manifestation guide as well. And so I've been really curious about it. I've been keeping my eye on this book for a long time and I almost left it because it's so heavy, but my husband carried it for me. He put it in his carry-on and so I got it back. So now it's here with me and I'm super excited to have it. Okay, the next thing we brought back is really fun. We have this Instax Fujifilm camera that we absolutely love. I could do a whole video on it if anyone's curious, but it's actually digital. So you take the picture and then if you like it, you can choose to print it, which is perfect because I had another camera that was really fun, but you push the button and it would print just like in the old days. So sometimes like maybe, I don't know, a third of the pictures aren't very good. This one, you get to see it or take a few and then print the best one. So we always stock up on film for it. We like to take it to parties and things and take pictures with people and of people and then give it to them. It always makes people so happy. I don't know what it is about these Polaroids, but they're just so much fun. I mean, who doesn't like a Polaroid, especially from like some birthday party or a wedding, or in this case, we took it to take pictures with the Easter Bunny. So all my friends and their kids got a picture with the Easter Bunny in a Polaroid form, which I think is super nostalgic to 90s kids because that's how things were back then. So that's what I remember. And so giving it to my friends is really fun. And then this last time, my husband found Wide. So it comes with a printer. So he bought a printer and I think you link it to your phone and then print pictures from your phone onto a Polaroid. So I feel like that's kind of cheating, but it's really fun and I really like it. And it's just something that we like to do as a family, take pictures of our girls and just, we have them all around the house. So lots of fun with these. The next thing is very me and very nostalgic, and I'm kind of just leaning into it because why not? Do you remember these bags? So I hit up Claire's, and I have in the past as well, because they have the best velvet scrunchies. These scrunchies make me so happy. I can't even I don't know why, and I don't see anything wrong with it. It's fun, it makes us happy. I mean, come on, they're so cute. Okay, so the last item I'm going to show you is probably my most used item. Like I said, my dad is from Sicily, so having espresso every day has been a part of my life since childhood. It was literally my first chore was to make my dad an espresso and my mom a cappuccino every morning. My dad found this company, Caffè Borbone. It's from Italy. This is the red type, rosa. This coffee is so good. Like it has spoiled me. So if you have the old Nespresso machines, so the original shape, not the dome, but this shape, you can buy these. They are compatible. I have just like the basic Nespresso machine. This coffee will change your life. It is so delicious. I always stock up on this. I always buy a box. They come in boxes of 100 on Amazon. I always buy a box and bring it back with me. They're individually wrapped, which I know it's not like the greenest thing. So I always end up just opening them and bringing like a big, massive bag with me. This time I brought 2, but I drink it, my husband drinks it, and if you drink espresso or if your family's Italian, you know it's not just like a one and done in the morning. Like usually you have at least 2. It's part of the culture of espresso. It has less caffeine than a cup of coffee. So yeah, I love my espresso. It's just something that helps me feel like me. It's a ritual. Every morning I pull my coffee and I drink it and I think about some sort of an intention, or I send like love out to someone in my family. And then also my dad and I FaceTime like, I don't know, 3 times a week, and have a coffee together, and I have screenshots of all of them over time. So yeah, this is like really special and important to me. So I wanted to make this video because when you move to a different country, or I imagine even a different state or a different city or a different area, there's a lot of benefit to having things that make you feel like you, that make you feel at home, make you feel nostalgic. Whether it's a tool like a medicine or a kitchen sponge or something special that makes you feel you, like a velvet scrunchie. That's ridiculous. But when I first moved here, I tried to be really conscious before we moved of what I was gonna need so that I could stock up on those things. And I think I did a pretty good job, and it made a huge difference in our transition, because even if you're in a new place, if you have certain things that make you feel comfortable and certain things that make you feel supported, if you're sick or if you, if you're just feeling a little out of sorts, you have those go-to things that you brought with you that you're not sure if you can find or not. It's a game changer. So this is what I brought this time. It felt really good bringing all this back. Each and every one of these items feels like a treasure to me. When I put it in my suitcase packing to go home, I feel like I'm taking the best parts of home with me to come back here in Mexico. So yeah, just a little fun video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you live abroad or you live away from where you grew up, what do you like to bring back with you? Until next time, take care. I'll see you later.